Good morning, everybody. So happy to be here this morning. I have a really special guest coming, and um, oh my gosh, Bobby is. So, for those of you who don't know about numerology, I actually didn't know much about it myself just a few months ago. But you know, in this deep dive, this learning that I've been doing, I'm like, I'm just gonna do what the leaders are doing. I'm just gonna do what they've done that is successful. And one of the things that I did straight away is I got a numerology reading with Bobby, who you're gonna meet in a few minutes. And um, I'm telling you, within 2 days of getting this name adjustment, my business exploded. And then I just did another one because I was ready for like another up level in my life. This is what I'm committed to right now. It's just up leveling over and over and over and over, and up leveling even before I think I'm ready sometimes. Hi, Jessica. And so just recently, like I guess 2 weeks ago, I did another name change with him. So first I had Brooke E. March, and my mom in Canada, she's like, "What's with the E? What's going on?" Because my middle given name is Anne. But Bobby's going to come on and he's going to share how this whole numerology works, because the idea is that there's numbers everywhere, right? And this is ancient, like ancient wisdom. There he is. And so when you align your name, hold on, they'll receive an invite to join. Like the energy in your life, everything changes. It's really, really cool. So I don't even really know how to explain it, quite frankly. All I know is like it works. It's been like profound for me personally, what's been happening. And so I'm really excited to bring Bobby on in here. Hi, Micha. Super, super excited for you to hear from him. He's such a heart and such a light and so much wisdom in him, and very, very fun. So we're going to have him on for like 15, 20 minutes. You can stay as long as you can. Hi, Camille. But seriously, if you're looking for more abundance in your life, in whatever way that is, like it's all about really aligning. There he is. Hi, Bobby.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, so good. You?
Absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to chat with you, and I've been looking forward to this. How are
Yes.
you?
So good. Oh my gosh, I'm so good. Everything is amazing. So super, super exciting time. And I was just giving you a little introduction. Hi, Tess. And like me, I knew the way that I found you was through Christy and Clint. They're like, just do a reading, and I'm like, okay, I'm just doing whatever I'm told, pretty much. Like, all right, I'll just do it. And I really didn't know, like, I had heard about numerology in the past, but I never really knew it. So tell us, for everybody listening in, like most people don't have a clue. What most of us know about astrology, but we don't know about numerology. So what is it, and how does it work?
It basically is the study of numbers. So imagine that numbers are kind of like paint colors, and when you've got someone's soul, you paint them with different vibrations, and some speak more to leadership, some speak more to partnership, and some speak more to like spirituality, service to others, service to self, positive ways, negative ways. Like you can imagine like a palette of colors, an artist can use it to make you feel an emotion, and it can be an emotion of joy or emotion of sadness. The same thing with your numerology. Your birthday and your name are speaking little pictures about you that people get a chance to experience. And one of the biggest challenges that I guess the reason why it was positioned to us is that business finance, like magnetism in business and in wealth, is a color, or success in love and family and parenthood is also a color. So if you've got
Mm-hmm.
it painted in a positive direction, you're set. But if you're not, then this alignment is powerful, because I would imagine, and you're an example here, you got a lot of actual authentic power to you, and just quickly tuning the name, and it sets
Mm-hmm.
you off now. And I'm not sure if you've recognized this or not, but
Oh yeah.
you've done a soar, and you've done like
Yeah.
a full on and I'm not going to say it's because of the name, because I think that it's because of your destiny. And I think you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be where you're at, and you're supposed to be doing all of this, and this was
Mm-hmm.
like a piece of the armor that you picked up along the way. was that
Yeah.
awareness of self and that change of self. But it gives people a profound sense of understanding into who they are. And man, it's just so unbelievable, amazing to see your progress and your journey and your success.
Yeah.
It's not typical. Not everybody's a Brooke, okay? Like you're like a unicorn in this. So I know that you're dealing with something a bit different, but I had to
Mm.
acknowledge that because it's just such a blessing to watch you, and you've
Mm.
quickly stepped into the ranks of an influencer and someone who is supposed, you know, like someone to know for sure.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But that's so sweet. It's so sweet. And I felt, I mean, when I did the name, I've done two name changes with you now, or name adjustments, I guess is what you call them. And yeah, like within days of doing it, I just felt, I mean, I felt it, first of all, like especially the last one when I adjusted to the W. So those of you who've been following me, you saw I was Brooke E for a while. And when I first met with Bobby, he's like, you might want to do the E first because you got to be ready. Like you got to be ready for the upper leveling, I guess is what you would call it. Can you talk a little bit more to that?
Well, okay, so you know, we're talking about colors and pictures here, right? We're trying to use this as a metaphor to think, you know, what level of success do you want to express at? And if I give you a name that was like an entry point name, and you're not an entry point kind of gal, if you're a VIP type of person, your name should be speaking to that VIP type of level. So when we put your first name together, we were making an entrance way into an alignment for you. It's like, I like this. It's not bad. I
Mm,
can feel it, but it didn't last for very long. And I'm not sure if you just grew really fast or if it just
mm-hmm.
wasn't the right name for you.
Ah,
Whichever one it was,
interesting.
you
Yeah.
were in tune to think, no, I think I need a switch. Perhaps maybe you're playing modest or playing you know, like human for a minute, and then
Uh-huh.
realize, no, I gotta step into my leader. If this is
Yeah.
the amount of shift, then imagine what a giant name would look like. And when we look at giant names, we look at people who want to make millions, who want to inspire thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, that want to have
Hmm.
large organizations. That can scare some people. So you're just like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
just want to take my kids to Disneyland. I'm not trying to like get on
Right.
stage or anything. And then there are other
Totally.
people who are like, no, we're going to change the world here. And so
Yeah.
when you take a name like that and you have mentors like Clint and Christy being like, just do a session, you're getting into this upper echelon of vibration that speaks to, hey, let's change the world. Like let's
Yeah.
actually, you know, change the face of what business is supposed to look like, and
Yeah.
offer opportunity to people. So yeah, I think that you really cranked it up. And
Mm.
I'm not sure if you remember your numbers, like the numbers it was Brooke E March was like a
Yeah.
516 or something, right?
Yeah.
And then Brooke W March is operating at a 696 or a 966 or something like that.
966. Yeah. I think
So
it was
we went for the
966.
difference of like a spirited, feisty leadership, heart based, into queen legacy and like generational wealth. So there's a
Mm.
difference between the
Yeah.
vibration between even the letter. Like you're like, what are you talking about? How can the
Uh-huh.
letter do this? And it's
Yeah.
the same thing as like looking at a guitar and moving the fingers over a second just to like get a different noise to make. And so it's the
Yeah.
same thing that we're doing in numerology, but of how sacred it is, because this is your name. This is the thing
Yeah.
that you speak. This is the spell that you give to the world. So,
Yeah.
so unbelievably cool.
Now, what can, oh my gosh, somebody is like relentless, FedEx is relentlessly banging at my door right now. So give them another little tidbit. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Your name on FedEx should be absolutely like aligned. When people, um, oh,
I'm on an interview.
Is one of Marvel's most popular superheroes.
oh,
Has
sorry.
become more popular than ever since Chris Evans started playing the character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in 2011. By now, pretty much everyone knows the basics of the
March.
There's a
character.
small little trailer playing in the background. I gotta turn off my YouTube, but I'll do that too.
There's actually a lot
Yeah.
more than that for
Scott.
the man otherwise known as Steve Rogers. In this video, we'll
Thank you. Sorry, you guys. Oh my God.
No, me as well. As soon as that happened, I had my YouTube playing in the background, so I was like, "Uh-oh," and then I didn't know how to turn it off.
It's so funny. I was
But
like, I'm
there
just
are,
not going to answer it. And they just stayed there like, we're not going away. Like, all right. Anyway.
but we're talking name changes, and
Yeah.
you know, we're talking about how they show up for you and where you take them. You know, they show up for you in business, they show up for you in life, they show up for you on the FedEx package, like wherever it is that your name actually appears. is another space for your vibration to actually exist. So when I get into this, it's like very interesting to think there are places to use this, and there are places where you would want this to be seen. So like in the case of a business owner, your clients should probably want to see your name. In case of a parent, you're going to want to know what your children's names are looking like, what their birthdays are looking like, so you can you have an understanding of why they're dealing with the things the way they are. Or even just if it is to your love life, and you're like, some people out there are trying to find the love of their life, or they're trying to get pregnant, or they're trying to start a family, get married, but they can't quite seem to like plug it together. And I look at their vibration, I'm like, this isn't going to hold a long-term wealth in a relationship house. So it's almost like an algorithm. Like we're trying to like create an equation that works. It's like, all right, well, what do you want? You want to be happy? Sure, everybody wants to be happy. What does that look like? Love happiness, money happiness, spiritual happiness. Okay, are you going inward within yourself happiness? Like you need to love yourself, or are you trying to love outside and find a partner? And or are you trying to love your own wealth, or are you trying to help other people find wealth? Like you get a chance to choose and custom craft your direction on the planet. It's super spiritual stuff, and it's very strange because astrology, right? You're thinking, the passings of the planets, or even tarot cards. You're thinking, okay, now this is like straight up voodoo. And this one here, it's like, no, we're literally looking at your birthday, we're looking at your name, and it tells you things about you that like how could I possibly know? Or things about yourself that are relevant for you. Like imagine even just the light bulbs that we're turning on inside of your session. And we only had like a small one to begin with. And it was crazy. You were just like, interesting. It says that this is me.
I have to say that for anybody watching that doesn't know about this, so I've been into like the spiritual woo-woo world forever. I love it. That's where I am. That's where I'll always be. But I never tapped into numerology. And when I did my very first session with Bobby, and he was telling me who I am through just my name and my birthday, I was like everything, every fucking thing was spot on. Like the way I look at things, the way I think about things, my strengths, my weaknesses, like where my tendencies are, like everything. And I was like, what? This is like, it blew my mind. It really, really blew my mind. So even though I didn't quite understand it, I was like, I'm in. I don't know what the hell this is exactly, but I'm in, and I'll take it. I'll take whatever extra support I can get, because this is all about creating the life that we want, right? So I'm just so excited to learn more about it. And then I did a longer session with you just recently, and that too is just like, I feel like I'm still integrating everything that you shared with me about where I'm going and what's happening and how I can be with all this. And it's exciting. It's really exciting. And I just, what I love the most, I think, is that I think for all of us, especially people that know me, we're all on this path of self-discovery. We're all on this path of wanting our lives to be better and wanting to be able to make the impact that we want. And this just feels like another layer of support, like another tool that you can have to bring in to create what you want in your life. What else do they need to know about it? Like really, I still don't get like pretend you're talking to like a 5-year-old about how numbers work and change their life. Will you give the 5-year-old version of it?
So imagine like, when because I have kids in my house that are that size right now, and they're learning how to count. They're learning how to add. And so the definitions are being introduced to them, that one means you have something that's just a single thing. Then you have 2 things, which means that now you have 2 pieces. And then if you have 3 things, now there's like, you can count 3 different objects. So the same thing with numbers, we have definitions around them. So if you see the number 1, you're thinking things in like leadership. Or you're thinking in the 2, you're thinking things about partnership. Or if it's in the 3, we're thinking about things like a child or a sweetheart, or like a baby version, like a third thing that exists. So all of these numbers hold qualities. And then we see them show up inside of your birthday. So when we're looking at your birthday, it's kind of like telling us what type of a page are we writing on. Is this a canvas? Is this a paper? Is this construction paper? Is this a cloth? Like, what type of background do you have in your life? Like, how's the texture going to be? How long does it run? Is it a broken, torn off page, or is it a nicely prepared piece of art? So we have a very powerful undertone to our lives. And then on top of it, we have our names, which is like, okay, now are you painting? Are you coloring with felts? Are you coloring with crayons? Do you have the full colors? Like, do you have everything you need? or are you dealing with a like a missing set? So when we're looking at numerology, we're getting an insight for who we are. So I've got my little assistant with me at work today. This is my little tiny Jen Jen. Say hi.
Hi. Hi,
Say
Jen
hi.
Jen.
Can you say hi? So we have a
Don't
like
have
she's so sweet. And to think, like people say, oh, she's not talking yet, and I'm like, I know why. I have her chart. Like I know her chart.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, like she knows what's going on, but she doesn't want to open her mouth to communicate. She still
Yeah.
wants to actually make herself known. But I know
Mm-hmm.
knowing her numbers gives me an understanding as to how to deal with her when she's feeling cranky, or
Yeah.
how I can expect her to communicate. Because some parents would be like, "Oh, there's something wrong with my kid. I got, she's late or she's not seeking
Yeah.
anything." I'm like, "No, no,
Yeah.
no. She just has an
Yeah.
overload of awareness, and her
Yeah.
vibration of awareness is greater. So I'm not going to force her to do anything on my timing because it's on her timing. She's a little
Yeah.
princess.
Exactly.
So, and to know this as a parent, I believe it really arms us. I've done family
Mm.
readings before. They're so unbelievably
Oh,
crazy
I
because
bet. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
even for, I had a mother almost in tears, and her daughter was 5 months old, and I was reading her daughter like a book, and she's like,
Yeah.
"How do you know this?" I'm like,
Yeah.
trust me, it's just crazy. And even just yesterday, I did a 2-year-old reading, and it
Uh-huh.
was nuts because I was like, wait a second, I'm gonna be able to talk to this little woman as a 20-year-old, a 40-year-old. Like I can talk to her
Wow.
numbers. She hasn't
Yeah.
even experienced this stuff yet, and it
Yeah.
dawns on me to think the younger that I get to, the easier it is for us to correct things that people are gonna have to hire coaches for later on in their lifetime,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
Um,
Wow. That's
but
amazing.
absolutely, it is the
Ugh.
most amazing thing. I promise you guys, it is the most unbelievable, eye-opening experience. I've like
Yeah.
even Ali Mae yesterday, she sent me a video and it was like 2 minutes long or 3 minutes long, and I was like, because I'm asking people for testimonial videos. So if
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
mind, throw one to me and just
Of
let people
course.
know in like a 1 minute, just hey
Sure.
Bobby, like this is what you did.
Yeah.
It almost brought me to tears, and she's like, it was so profound to meet myself and all this stuff she was saying. I'm like, wow. And she's had a couple sessions. She did a couple of name adjustments. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, like there's a return policy. Like you
Yeah.
didn't change
Yeah.
anything legally. Like, you got an outfit, you think you like it. Okay, good. I gotta go. Bye. And then you come back, you're like, you know what? I think I need the
Yeah.
better the outfit. I'm gonna do the upgrade. And that's
Yeah.
okay. We do that in life. But
Yeah.
unbelievable what this stuff can do and the applications for it. Business,
Yeah.
love, family, spirituality, personal self, healing your past, healing your own karmic equations, even
Yes.
knowing it. Like your middle name, Ann,
Mm-hmm.
it's ANN or is it ANNE?
ANN.
That says angel. So we have
Yeah.
like a powerful leader inside of a state where you're going to have to lead and mentor people. And this is what
Mm-hmm.
you're here to do in this life.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like if you open your chest, there's like a tattoo or like a beam of light inside of you that comes from a spiritual divine space. Like this stuff for me, I'm paying attention to. So when I'm doing your chart, I'm like, you're not like a regular human being. You're supposed to do something for the planet. And no wonder you're
Mm-hmm.
stepping up to it. It's
Yeah.
not an easy thing, and it's a like a common name, right? But I
Yeah.
like to think that there's a layer of karmic equation that you're stepping into the light of, because now you've got this powerful name that's like, I'm gonna go to the top, I'm gonna get this done, I'm gonna sit on the throne of my life, I'm not gonna sit
Yeah.
somewhere in the sidelines of my own existence, and you're stepping into that power, and I'm like, well, of course, like this is my spiritual blessing and duty, like it's an honor for me to be a part of this, and I'm just sitting here
Yeah.
like plugging a letter into your name and watching you fly, and
Yeah.
it's like lighting the fireworks and running away. Be like, trust me, as soon
Yeah.
as going off, it's gonna be a big one. But
It's
yeah,
so
I'm sorry. I know
amazing.
we kind of ran off on a tangent there a little bit. 5-year-olds,
No, no,
I
it's
can't
great.
explain numerology to them.
No,
But
it's perfect. It's okay. You
I'm
know what
talking to my little
I'm
girl. Sorry, oh yeah, I was just
go
gonna
ahead.
finish this thought. I was talking to my
Yeah.
8-year-old, and she gets frustrated, and I know her numbers, and I'm like, it's okay. I know you've got a lot of energy. It's all right. I understand that this is frustrating for you because you're dealing with a lot of energy. It's out of a small little body. It's not fair.
Yeah.
So I get it,
Yeah.
and that really helps to calm her down. But
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
It's funny because when I told my 9-year-old about my name adjustment and like how this all works, he was like, "Can I do one?" Like he's like, "I want one," and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get you one for sure." And I'm curious, so how could numerology help in a relationship in terms of two people that are like, or in like long-term marriage, for example, with kids? Let's just be real, it's fucking hard, right? It's hard to keep a marriage like alive and thriving once you have kids in the mix. So let's say that you have a couple who is really struggling. Like, how could a numerology reading support them in keeping
Basically,
things?
for one, it'll show you the reason why you guys fell in love, and two, it'll also map out the pitfalls so you know and where in your course one person's going to need support. Like, it's crazy because we have our own cycles and everybody
Yeah,
has their own rhythm, and at
right.
some point in your rhythm you're going to need the support of completion, which your partner is probably going to need at that point. Coincidentally, ironically enough, they're going to need to go off into their independence. Like, perfect example, me and Sally right now. I'm in a
Mm-hmm.
space where I need emotional support, and she's in
Uh-huh.
a space where she needs expansive freedom. So there's a tension there because I'm like,
Yeah,
uh-oh, like, you know, you have to be there for me, and you're not full enough, you don't have your emotions there. And she's like emotionless, being like, I need to go off into my own direction. And
mm-hmm.
reading our chart, we were both like, oh, okay, fine. So it's okay,
Yeah,
it's all good, and that understanding of just knowing this is what you need, this is what you
yeah,
need. You kind of end up getting to give it to yourself a little bit, but it's super romantic when I see couples because you see it in their charts. Like, your
yeah,
birthday looks like your husband's last name, or her wife's last name looks like her partner's,
yeah,
middle name, and it's like, hey, look, you guys are supposed to be here, and it's
yeah,
supposed to be this. No wonder, you guys fit like a glove. And then on the opposite end, it's like you change your name legally without any consultation, just out of the mere shot of ego love. Like, you love this person so much that you're like, I'm going to take your last name. Let's do this in life. And then next thing you know, you go and off the side, and you're not the same woman you used to be. You've changed,
yeah,
and like, I feel like I'm in a box now. I've lost my voice. I don't,
yeah,
I don't. And these are all of the things that happen inside of relationships. Like, let's get real, guys. And I'm
yeah,
not a relationship counselor. I give insight into
mm,
people's numbers, and it
yeah.
shows you as to the web of why things are moving. I've saved relationships before. Like,
I bet.
I'm like,
I bet.
because I was like, here, take this name.
Yeah.
Move now with the magnetism in your numerology, and then the couple starts to magnetize towards each other instead of
Uh-huh.
like hitting each other as they're colliding through time and space. It's like
Right.
a mix match. Now it's at least
Right.
okay, flying in unison, right? But
Yeah.
inside of relationships, funny story, I met my Sally, and the first thing I did was read her numbers because obviously I'm
Of
like, I gotta
course.
know, right? Like, who are you,
Yeah.
right? And I
Do
looked
we
at
have a
this and
chance?
I looked at this chart overlapping
Mm,
on mine, and I was like, this buzzing in my head was like, this is this like the relationship of destiny. I'm like, this is crazy. These numbers fit so well, and they keep
yeah.
fitting, like as if we're supposed to be together. And yeah, so long story short, here we are. I've got my and we just changed her name. Like Sally changed her legal name. We just changed Jen's last name to my last name as well. So like,
Uh-huh.
it's a big deal to think that
Yeah.
we're actually changing the trajectory of these little souls and
Right.
this movement in life with consciousness. Like, I'm not just being like, oh, just put her name on mine. I get a chance to actually calculate her name so that it clicks for her life and doesn't end up bugging her when she's older, or even at a
Right.
small age.
Right. It's so interesting. Gosh, it's so
Yes.
fascinating. I mean, when I put the W in my name just a couple of weeks ago, like the minute I did it, my whole body was like tingling. Like I was fully, I was like, whoa, holy moly. Okay, hold on for the ride. Here we go. It's time to go. And truly, like, I don't know if you've been watching my live feeds at all, but like what has been happening is unfucking real. And yes, it's not only the name, but it's a piece of this layering, right? Of this personal development and this personal growth and really stepping into the life that I want. And I'm just so grateful that we have you as this amazing resource for us. Can you just talk? This is one last thing, and then I want to jump off because I could talk to you for hours. But um, can you talk a little bit about the life cycle, the cycles, like our cycles in our numerology charts? Because I was super intrigued with that. So can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, it's a quick little precursor to this because you changed your name around. You went through your own small cycle of a medium name to like a double extra large, powerful, like leadership woman on fire name. Okay. And so
Mm-hmm.
your energy frequency has exploded, and you can feel it. Absolutely. You can feel it in everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
It's beaming. You're literally beaming energy, and like
Mm-hmm.
you're stepping into your queen, and you're stepping into your throne. And so a cycle happens very much like you would have a cycle on a farm, where there'd be places in time of the farm where you're preparing the soil. There's places in the farm where you're planting the seeds and watering them. Then there's places in the soil where it starts to break through, grab hold, take root, start to grow, start to leave, start to flower, start to fruit. There's a time for harvest, and then there's a time for cleaning up the shop. And this is a 9-year cycle in your path. There's a 9-year cycle in the earth's path. There's a 9-year cycle in your family. Everyone has their own sort of like wheel that they're turning in the big clockwork of time. And to know this is amazing, because I remember we were doing yours and we kind of like took a peer into what if for the next 9 years. What if you had absolute power in your momentum and your business absolutely grew, and like, okay, this year you'd be hitting your 682. This is a good year for stabilization. This is a good year for expansion. Now this is a good year for supreme level of growth. Okay, get ready. You're going to profit a lot this year. And then you make it. What does your brand look like now? What things are you doing? What does your next 9-year cycle look like? Are you going to go off and do bigger things or bigger events? And it can also have a really strong feeling as to, like, because before I said in relationships, I'm like, just last year I was in a completion phase, whereas Sally's in starting a new cycle. So there's a tension in our charts because we're 2 years apart. So we're like in a perfect harmony for like 7 years. But then when she gets to the end of her cycle and she goes back down to the beginning, when she gets back to the beginning, I'm still completing my cycle. So there's like for what was once a harmonious gap is going to be this one moment in the next, like 2 years, which is coincidentally last year when I met her, that feeling of like, look, we're going to be at a huge distance, but we get through the biggest challenges first. And then we come back to living a decade of like support. So to have those cycles in unison, and some people are like, you're just not on the right cycle. Like you're just never gonna, like, you could be the best souls ever, but if you're like 40 years born apart, or you're not in the right time zone, it'll be like passing trains. So to have this cycle, like, and then the earth has its own cycle, and then you have the one that you're supporting the planet in. And so it's nice to know, are you in a growth phase? Are you in a, like, meet people phase or a branding phase? Are you in a structure and stability, like lay down the hard work? This is where the entrepreneur needs to grind, and you need to fail that 9 times, right? Like before you break through to success, and that feeling shows up to think you're going to be in hard work, or is it going to be like the party zone time where you're like the hard work, like where the hard work is over. Okay, let's party now. Let's enjoy our wealth. And it's been funny because this is what I do with Balaj, and he's the one who showed numerology to us in the very first place. I'm doing cycle numerology for him, so I'm always looking into the curve, thinking, hey, look, this is what you've got to look forward to next. And we see it as it grows, and it's so super crazy to like map out his life and then map out what's looking like on the chart. But the more more powerful leaders in the group are working with me more often. And after we talk about your birthday and your name, you have that. You're set. Now we're talking about the future, what happens next, and how to run with the tides, how to actually capitalize on the weather. That's what cyclical numerology looks like, is to actually map out what's going to happen next for you. So you have some understanding of it.
Yeah, so great. So great. So, thank you so much for this. So anybody that wants to reach out to you and get more information, will you drop your website or your link or however you want them to reach you into the comments when we get off here? And yeah, definitely book in with Bobby if this interests you, because he's friggin' masterful at what he does. And yeah, it's just so fun. It's so fun to bring more tools to people. That's what this is all about, right? This is why I come on here, is to share value, to share more insights about how we can create the lives that we want and step into, especially for all you moms out there, stepping back into you, stepping back into the life that you're really, really wanting and choosing. And understanding your numbers and numerology is just another beautiful layer to it. So if you're catching the replay, I know there've been a ton of comments on here. I'll come back and comment when we get off, but thank you to everybody who's been tuning in. If you're catching the replay, hit replay. And if you found any value in this and you think this is really freaking cool, share it. Because the more people that know about this, the more support we're able to give people. And that's what this is all about. So thank you so much for your time, Bobby. So appreciate who you are. And can't wait to do another one of these and take another layer deeper with everybody.
Absolutely. I can't wait to do a private event for your team. Like you just exploded really
Yeah.
quickly. If we get
Yeah.
everybody in the room, I will line
Yeah.
up everybody all at once. Oh man, it's gonna feel
Okay.
so great. All right, okay,
Okay,
cool.
great.
But anyway, it was a
Yeah.
pleasure to connect with you, Brooke. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody. Catch the replay. We're going to jump off. Bye.
Bye.